Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic, Volume 1, Episode 41. This is the final episode in this first volume, and we are wrapping up our look at some bonus puzzles that revisit genres that we've already been introduced to. Today we're going to be taking a look at a compass, which was hard the first time around. It's always a tricky genre to look at, so I imagine this will be a bit of a challenge today. But I think we can apply some of the things we learned before and hopefully make it through without too much trouble. In the coming episodes, in the new volume, we'll see a few changes, but the basic format will stay the same, and we'll see some new puzzle types we haven't gotten to yet, so that will be exciting. But for today, if you haven't yet watched the previous video where we covered compass, I encourage you to go back and do that and get warmed up. But just in case, let's take a look at the rules. Compass is a region division puzzle. We will divide the grid into regions of orthogonally connected cells, each containing exactly one compass. Orthogonally connected just means connected by a cell edge, connected vertically or horizontally, not diagonally. And a compass is one of these cells with an X in it and numbers in some of the four quadrants of the cell. A number in a compass indicates how many cells belong to its region that are further in the indicated direction than the compass itself. This is a confusing rule, but the examples will help us a bit. This 5-7 compass, for example, tells us that there are 7 cells south of the compass in this region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 5 to the west of it. So that is these 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas this 3-2 compass at the top shows us that there are 3 cells west of the compass, 1, 2, 3, and 2 cells south of the compass, 1, 2. Note that the 2 don't have to be connected to each other directly. The second cell, you have to kind of go around and find another exit to count it. So that can be a little counterintuitive, but hopefully we'll pick up on it. Blank edges of a compass give us no information at all. So in this 1-0 case, it's telling us there's nothing to the east, which is true. There is 1 to the north, but it doesn't say there can't be anything to the south. So this blank with a cell below it is just fine. This 0 on the bottom edge is a completely redundant clue because there could be nothing south of this compass to begin with. So hopefully that is clear enough for us to get going. So those are all the rules of compass, and it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's bonus compass puzzle was set by Shye. Alright, let's take a look at some zeros and see if we can not make some of the same mistakes that we, meaning I, made last time when facing one of these puzzles. Okay, so any zeros, obviously we can't extend that direction directly, but we also have to keep in mind that we can't extend in that direction ever. So, what can we do, for example, with this compass here? It can't go east or west. It needs to end up in one of these cells up here. The only way that's going to happen, it can't come around, because if it came around either side, we'd see the 0, so it must come directly north. Same token, this has to go directly south. And this right here, these 5 could come from anywhere down here, except they can't ever be east. So it's going to have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. This is a big number. Let's look at this one. We got a 7 and a 3. The 3 could be, I see these 3 squares right here. Oh, but this is going to stop that. So let's do this one first. We've got the same pattern where we can't go east or west. It's going to have to go just north and south. So we're going to get 3 cells up there, 1 down there. That's forced. Now, this 3 could get at most 2 from here. It's going to have to get 1, 2, in order to get 7. 1, 2. It could have as many as 3 in this broad area, which means we need at least 4 in the same column. 1, 2, 3, 4 are all and it never goes west. So, but we don't know that they're consecutive 4. There was at least these 2. We could kind of loop around, I suppose, and get these 2. Or loop this way. Okay, anyway, we're going to get at least 2 more out of these. We've got to just be careful there. It's not going to go west. We do know that. So these empty compasses are a bit of a problem because we can't do something like, find the compass that this belongs to, because it could belong to one of these mystery compasses. This 0022 here, it might get a couple here, but it might not. But it definitely goes north at least 2, because there's no other way to get north. So the question is whether it then, and then it's going to stop and not go further north. So the question is, could some of these 2s come from up here? And no, they can't, because the 2 here is already completed, and if we even went west, we'd still be north of the compass, and this number would go up. So this has got to be all that we get there, which means this is the simplest case there. And this one actually connects with that compass, although we don't need to necessarily care about that. This one up here, is this going to be similar? It's not quite as constrained. There's nothing else that's quite as constrained. So now it's going to get a little tricky, I think. This compass here has to see 2 that have to come from this rightmost column. There's no way it can get to this one, so it is these 2. And those 2 have actually satisfied the 1 down here as well, because we've taken care of that 1. So now we can't visit anything more in this row. Everything else has to come from this row. So this 3 has to be these 3 here. That has made this one a bit more interesting, because now we've got a 1 to the east, and it can't go east anymore. So it's going to have to get there by going south, and then at some point going east. But we've already used 2 out of the 3 here. So we're going to have to get our third of the 3 at the same time as we get the 1. So it's got to go east right here. And we have finished everything that is south of this compass. So these 2 have to be in the same row as the compass. Like so. Now this compass is going to need 2 cells north of it. What's left unclaimed? This one, which is not really unclaimed. It has to belong to this one. That's the only choice. This one and this one are both going to be part of this 2. And now we've seen 2 cells east of the compass, so we can only get 1 more. And so how are we going to get there? We have to go straight there now. And now we can't go east of the compass anymore. We can't go north of the compass anymore. So these are not going to extend any further. This has to go south and can't go any further, or can't go any further east. So now we've got 1 out of the 4 and 0 out of these 4. Where are these 4 going to come from? Somewhere in this area, and the only way in is through here. So it's going to go 1, 2, and then get a couple more. Yeah, so it needs 2 more. This 4 needs 1 more. So if the 2 4s were all from this region, they were all contained in here, that would break the south 4. So at least one of the remaining 4 west 4s has to come from that row or above. And it can't come from above because we've already used up the north clue. So this one is going to have to be involved in this compass. And how can that get there? Only exactly directly, because we've already used 1, 2, 3, 4 west now, and we've used 1, 2, 3, 4 south now. So those connect directly, and this does not extend any further, and we've completed that compass. So all we're left with is this monster here that needs 3 to the east and 7 to the north, with this little compass maybe eating up some portion of those. How are we going to do that? 7 north. I believe that is going to be the key, because where can we get 7 to the north? What cells are available to the north? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 unclaimed cells, including the 2 that we associated with this. 9 unclaimed cells to the north, but 2 of those are to the west of the compass, which is a 0. So we got to discount those. So the possibilities are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exactly 7, which is what we need. So all of these must be included in this compass clue, and it can't go west. So we've got our 7 to the north, and we've got our 3 to the east as part of that 7. So in fact, we have completed that one. And now every one of the compasses is isolated in its own region. So let's check our work. Oh, there's an area with more than one clue, it said. Yes, of course. So this is just a transcription error. We actually marked this compass's regions, but we didn't box in the other compasses that are not part of that one. Let's try that again and check our work. And that is how you solve a compass. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out the description below for more free puzzles.